Welcome to Sentient Synchronicities. Today we got a special episode. We're going to be talking about all kinds of shit, from rumors to misunderstandings to conspiracies, which we started talking about last night, but this is the follow-up. We talked about conspiracies and myths last night. Today we're going to talk about people that talk shit, talk about rumors, about the fall of the empires, of the industries, of the US empire, the economy. We're going to try to touch on all kinds of subjects. And since there's Tupac Do for Love playing in the background, I want to get back into that too. Every one of you who still wonder what happened with Tupac's murder, go watch Tupac Murder Confession by Kambada. No joke, you'll get the whole story. You don't even need to watch a 1 hour, 2 hour documentary. Go watch Kambada, Cambatta, Tupac Murder Confession. It'll explain you everything you need to know about his life and how he got murked, who's involved in it, who did it, all of his enemies. It's got details. It even has reconstruction of the actual scene and the murder scene. Crazy shit. So if you want to wonder, we're uncovering conspiracies today. We're going to uncover a lot of stuff. You want to wonder how Bob Marley died? Did he die of cancer? He was actually framed. I talked to one of his direct family relatives in Jamaica when I was in Trenchtown, and he actually told me that Bob Marley got given a pair of steel-toe boots, army steel-toe boots, because he liked wearing paramilitary gear and military gear. So he got given a pair of second-hand steel-toe boots by a friend he thought he trusted, who got paid by the New World Order to give him something that had an element, like a radioactive element, embedded in the steel toe, which is what caused him the toe cancer that people think he died from. Now, that never would have happened, but there was a really high amount of a supposed radioactive element in the steel toe, embedded within the steel toe of the boot, and they poisoned him to try to kill him because they knew what he was doing. So there's another mystery, which you can trust or not, you can take it at face value, but I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Trenchtown, I've been to Bob Marley's house, I chilled with his friends and relatives, I recorded in one of his studios, and I actually talked to people that knew the true story. Now, same thing when I talked to Nihanda Isokun. I talked to Tupac's godmother, one of Tupac's godmothers, who founded the Malcolm X grassroots movement, and she told me when I was in Cuba in 2010, I asked her, I said, listen, is Tupac really alive in Cuba? She said, I wish I could tell you he was, but he did die. That's just the way it is. But the thing is, he's living in another dimension right now. There's no conspiracy right there. He's an immortal being, so there's no question about that. Yo, what up, Musuru? Yo, peace, brethren. Yo, you got some cool shit going on, man. I've been checking your posts once in a while. You got some dope stuff going on. Please hop in if you want to. I'm trying to talk about everything from like dispelling the myths about Tupac's murder, the false myths about Tupac's murder, to Bob Marley, to like everything else that we could talk of. And I just want to say there's a lot of people in my life, a lot of people in existence in general, in the industry especially, that have been saying some shit that literally we all know about. Elder Beatmaster, yo, mad respect. You want to hop in? Let's talk about this. I was just talking, like I said, to Munsuro about the conspiracies, about Tupac's murder, about Bob Marley's death, which is a murder, about a number of different people, from Nipsey Hussle when he did, he did the documentary on Dr. Sebi, and he literally said right before he got murdered, he said, I'm doing this documentary on Dr. Sebi. If I get murdered for this shit, y'all better ride for me. Facts. This is why Kendrick Lamar went live and actually said, yo, we lost too many people. We lost all these different people, from Big L to Nipsey Hussle to Tupac. They murdered all the people that were telling the truth in the industry. We got to talk about this, because this shit is the type of stuff a lot of people will say, this is censored. They'll say, oh, well, Meta's not going to let us talk about this. Zuckerberg's going to cut us down. We got censored 6 times in the last. Elder Beatmaster would know. A 4-hour episode we did when he was doing lives, and a bunch of stuff in there got censored completely, deleted. I couldn't even save the last information. I couldn't save anything from the live, because I started freestyling after he said something. He said some shit about fuck Zuckerberg or something, and they shut us down as soon as I said that. I can't remember the exact details, but it was crazy shit. So we're going to keep being uncensored regardless. If they block us out of, if you never see Mute Academy on Instagram in the future, if you don't see what's going on with us and I disappear for this and that, just remember they censored us 4 different times on Instagram, twice on Facebook, twice on YouTube. They shut down our record label, crazy ass shit, So keep in mind all of this stuff. Like, it's very important for people to remember this. And please hop up and let's talk. Let's discuss all of this, because I want people to know that Biggie's death is not a conspiracy. The guy was murdered because he said, when I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell because I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell. There's nothing that was classic about Biggie's flows. Let's get real about this. Tupac versus Biggie is an actual massacre. Tupac is a revolutionary Black Panther. Biggie, in his own self-proclaimed words, said, the big black demon got the little hookers screaming because you know I like them young, fresh and clean with no hair in between, know what I mean? He said that. His words. So the guy was a sick, twisted fucking head. Anybody who picks Biggie over Tupac, I say you deserve to go to the gas chamber. Go fucking die. It's not about his lyrical skill. Nobody gives a flying fuck. The guy was a sick, twisted monster. So let's wake up and expose the industry the way it was meant to. He was friends with Diddy. That was one of his best friends. Now look at what's happening. Look at Jay-Z. Look at all the enemies of Tupac. These days, it's literally ridiculous. All of Tupac's enemies are absolutely sick, twisted, flabby old fucks that don't deserve any respect. They're not old school legends. They're not anything. You know, so fuck the industry. Fuck anybody who disagrees with this. I've been a rider for Pac since 92. Since he started his career, since I was 10 years old. I've always believed in Tupac Shakur. I was always on the side of the Black Panthers. I was always on the side of revolutionary people. So let's keep that in mind. And I'm going to make this a short one because some people are dropping in and out. People might not want to hear what I have to say about this subject because it's a difficult one. I would say Nas is not the king of the industry. Damian Marley outranked him so many times on his own album. He made him look like an idiot on his own project. Nas was literally just mainstreaming himself, talking about getting his dick sucked with Lauryn Hill in an Armani Exchange Range Rover, and we call that a hip-hop classic. How do we say this shit? How do we look at people that are disrespecting women, African goddesses on a daily basis, and goddesses of the diaspora, and we call them living legends? How is this? I grew up in the old school. I grew up in Canadian hip-hop. I grew up with American hip-hop. I grew up with French hip-hop, with worldwide hip-hop, with jazz, with classical music, with all stuff from all around the world, world music. And I never wanted to support and never believed in anybody that was disrespecting women, calling them the B word, calling them this and that, objectifying, materialism, misogyny, capitalism. Hip-hop has been sick for a long time, but it's not hip-hop that's sick. Elder B Master would know. Anybody who's dropped in here would know. Anybody who's been through my lives, who's listened to this, anybody who's listening would know. Hip-hop is not sick because of hip-hop. Hip-hop is sick because of imposters and infiltrators that have slipped into this shit. Yeah, that's fact, Mansouri. Hip-hop lost its message today. It's true. Because so many people are just not doing this. This is what we're trying to bring back. Yo, no problem. Elder B Master. Yo, mad respect for the shout out. I have mad respect for that. Yo, we got to do this again in the future if it's possible. If you want to come back when we have more people with Unknown Misery, Babylon War Child, a bunch of people, Free J Burton, we'll have you on here. And then we'll do another proper episode and I'll save it ahead of time to make sure it doesn't get shut down. Let me spark this spliff. But crazy ass shit, you know, to be honest, it is what it is. But anybody that talks about the conspiracies in the industry, you gotta think about it. A lot of those people, they're one-hit wonders, or they have 8 singles, they have 9 singles, they have 2 albums, 3 classics, this and that, but they're living off shit from way back in the days. Oh, you're in the queue? No way. Yo, let me see. Oh, yo.